Hi, my name is Rudy Jalapena. Welcome to 5 Minutes or Less, the movie program where we talk about films in 5 minutes or less. Today we are talking about Suicide Squad, a movie that I have been so excited for over the past couple months. I just can't tell you. It sounds so awesome. Just the premise, you got a band of misfits coming together to stop an otherwise unstoppable force. And these band of misfits just happen to be villains from the Batman universe. In this film, you're going to see the Joker, you're going to see Harley Quinn, you're going to see Deadshot, you're going to see a whole bunch of these other villains that haven't really appeared in the new DC universe just yet. This is kind of the way they're introducing them. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, they're brought together by Amanda Waller, as played by Viola Davis. And Viola Davis is wonderful in this film. Like, she's supposed to be kind of like an anti-hero, to where she's kind of a hero, but she's also doing some really shady and kind of bad things, and she pulls that off great. Now, the story is simple enough. These villains come together to stop something else bigger. You know, at the beginning of the film, they do a lot of introductions, so you get to know who these characters are. Deadshot is being played by Will Smith. Love Will Smith. He's awesome. Harley Quinn is being played by Margot Robbie. If you remember, Margot Robbie was actually with Will Smith in a film called Focus last year. You also get Jared Leto introducing his new Joker into the DC universe. Now, a lot of people are going to be making a lot of comparisons to Heath Ledger and heck, even Jack Nicholson. Jared Leto makes this character his own. The Joker in this film is just crazy. The Joker in the Dark Knight series that Heath Ledger did was really, really maniacal, but he was also very calculated and smart. This Joker is just nuts, and you really don't want to meet him in a dark alley at all, period. Now, like I said, they did have a lot of character introductions in the beginning of the film, but there towards the second act, the film doesn't have a lot of meat to hold on to. Things just tend to happen one after the other, and you kind of don't know why. A lot of times the motivation isn't always great. Now, another thing that kind of took me out of the story is at the beginning of the film, they have a lot of music cues. They have a lot of great songs to go with this, but the songs kind of changed the tone of the film for me, and it made me feel like the tone was lighthearted, but then it was dark. Then it was lighthearted, then it was dark. And it was fun. It was fun, but it's not exactly, you don't always need fun in a type of film like this. And once you watch the movie, you'll see. The movie can get pretty dark. Now, the director, David Ayer, he's famous for doing Training Day, End of Watch, and he's done some pretty dark and heavy films. And this film was really, really dark, but those music cues kind of take you away from the tone that you're used to in his type of films. So that kind of affected me. I didn't really appreciate that too much. Kind of felt like a music video through a lot of the film. Now, Harley Quinn is a standout in this movie. She's perfect as Margot Robbie is perfect as Harley Quinn. The Joker, like I said, Jared Leto brings his own take on the Joker, and it's creepy. I just wish I could have seen a little bit more of it. The way the film carries itself along, you can kind of tell that there were some scenes that had the Joker that were taken out. And after a lot of interviews, that's confirmed. Jared Leto says there are some scenes that are taken out of the film that, honestly, in my opinion, should have been left in. Will Smith's Deadshot really anchored the film. His emotional pull in the movie. You'll see his story arc at the beginning of the film, but it really anchored the movie in a way that I didn't expect it to. Honestly, they said Deadshot was going to be it. I was like, Deadshot, he's a throwaway character. But then they said Will Smith is starring as him. It makes me think, wow, why is Will Smith doing that? And after you see the movie, you see it's a pretty meaty role that he sunk his teeth into, and he's great in it. Now, overall, like I was saying, the story a lot of times felt kind of messy to me. People do things and we don't know why. The villain is introduced in a cool way, but in the third act, there's not really a big payoff with the villain. The villain kind of comes across very, very clunky. The movie has a lot of good action. It's a fun time in the theater. Do not take the kids. It's a pretty hard PG-13. They really went for it with this movie. So it's not a kids movie. Obviously, it's called Suicide Squad. So if you want to take your kids, be my guest. I came into the movie very, very excited. I also came into the movie really wanting to see a certain type of movie. And that's not exactly the movie that I saw. It's not exactly the movie that I saw going in there, but I really enjoyed it and I liked it. So I want to watch it again and see if my thoughts change on it. Right now, I'm toggling between about 3 stars and 3.5 stars. I think I'm going to settle on 3.5 stars, and I'll tell you why. Because of Batman. He is in the movie. That's in the trailers. It's not a spoiler. But Batman's in it, and he's awesome. So, for 5 minutes or less, this is Rudy Jalapena telling you to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those social media sites. And remember, eat your cereal with a fork and do your homework in the dark.